this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the day's support, resistance and pivot levels, the moving averages, the MACDs and the Fibonacci's. It is Sunday the 30th of May. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, particularly bearish start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 35,191 to target the first major resistance level at 36,764. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from 35,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 37,381 to cap any upside. In the event of a broad-based crypto rebound, Bitcoin could target 40,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 38,955. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 33,000 into play. Barring an extended sell-off through the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 30,000 levels. Second major support level at 31,427 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we had a bearish cross at the start of the day, supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, also a bearish indicator with the 50 continuing to pull back from the 100 and the 200, signaling further downside ahead. So failure to move through the pivot at 35,191 would bring support levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, tracking the broader market, bearish start. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 2354. Stick around at the first major resistance level at 2501. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 2500 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 2574.86 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, got the second major resistance level at 2722 and the 38.2% fib at 2740 to cap any upside. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 2134 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid the second major support level at 1987. Looking at the MACD's, widening of the bearish histogram at the turn of the day, supporting this early pullback. More significantly, the EMA's 50s pulling further back from the 100 and the 200. Bearish signal suggesting further downside ahead. So failure to move through the pivot at 2354 will bring support levels into play. Across to Litecoin against US dollar, also bearish. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 170 and the 62% fib at 174 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 183. Going to need to see plenty of support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 180s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 188.72 to cap any upside. In the event of a broad-based crypto rebound, Litecoin could target 200 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 201. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 152 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level at 139. Looking at the MACD's, widening of the bearish histogram, supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, 50s pulling further back from the 100 and the 200, signaling further downside ahead. So failure to move through the pivot at 170 will bring support levels into play. Looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.8556 and the 62% fib at 8573 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.9107. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.90 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a broad-based crypto rebound, Ripple's XRP could target the second major resistance level at 1.0016. Failure to move through the pivot and the 62% fib will bring the first major support level at 0.7707 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of the second major support level at 0.7096. Looking at the MACD, widening of the bearish histogram at the start of the day, supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, more significantly, the 50 continues to pull back from the 100 and the 200, signaling further downside ahead. So failure to move through the pivot and the 62% fib will bring support levels into play.